is really close to spilling. Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. It's gonna take some getting used to saying, but I remember to plug in my microphone this time around, and I think that's a win. So it's a little early right now, so all my roommates are asleep. I'm about to go into work. I work at a university library at a public institution. I get to work the lovely hours of 7:30 to 4. I'm filming this before everybody is awake. So if I'm talking a little low, that's why. So in this video, I wanted to talk about my current reads and my projected August TBRs. I already tried to film this video once. I did it last night and I was exhausted. I was way too tired to be even attempting to film. Okay, hold on. I need to go see what my cat just did. What are you doing? What are you doing? You gonna tell everybody hi? Look. Hi. She's like, no. Just don't knock over my teacup anymore, please. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. Anyway, so I want to talk about my current TBRs and my current reads and my projected TBR for August. And so yeah, if you want to grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, a hot beverage, since it's quite early in the morning, let's go. Okay, I thought about putting on makeup for this video, but I realized I don't want to set a standard for something that I'm not going to be able to keep up with. I think natural faces are beautiful anyway, so we're just gonna not even try. The only reason why intro me I think will probably end up having makeup on is because I'm going to work. But anyway, hello. I'm sure intro me is taking care of a lot of the introductory parts of the stuff, so we're just gonna dive right into it. I want to start off with going with my current TBRs. Why do I keep on calling it current TBRs? It's like it's an oxymoron. Like, that's not what they are. My current reads. Did I use oxymoron right? I think I did. Anyway, my current reads. I'm reading 2 books right now. One of them is very popular and the other one is not. So I'm going to start with the not one first. So this one is Creating Character Arcs, The Masterful Author's Guide to Uniting Story Structure, Plot, and Character Development by K.M. Weiland. So this book is actually really, really interesting to me if you're interested, especially if you're interested in anything like writing, and novel story structure and plot structure and everything like that. So this book kind of does a deep dive into, you can see all my little tabs that I've started to do. I've done the purple tabs for the positive character arc and then the dark blue tabs for the negative character arc, but I haven't gotten there yet. I just like to see my progress. I like to see how far I've gotten. The beginning of this book starts off with the positive character arc, and it basically goes to show how the positive character arc relates to the plot structure per every given beat of a story. So I use beat like in a beat sheet because that's personally what I use as a structure for my novel, but you could also use the hero's journey or anything similar. I say like this is a writing class, but basically this book follows basically the positive character arc first, then the neutral arc, and where nothing basically happens, and then the negative character arc, which is obviously derailing a character into a more grandiose, problematic problem. I am currently on page 115, and I'm right at the point of the 3rd plot point. So we're going to see, I've paused on this briefly just because I want to see basically how I can apply this to my current project that I'm trying to work on. I just want to try and see what this book, why do I keep on calling it a novel? It's because I'm nervous. Recommend if you're interested in anything that has to do with story structure, plot, character arcs, recommend. It breaks it all down for you. Okay. The next book I am reading is one that everybody on this planet is reading currently or has read recently, because I am late to the game as per usual, and it is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. The cover is back there because I don't like reading with the dust jacket on, just because I think it'll damage the dust jacket because my hands tend to get warm when I read. So this book is about a young girl named Violet Sorringale, who basically is told by her mother, who is the general of the school that she is going to, that the Basgiath War College, which basically has riders, dragon riders, and she was meant for the scribe quadrant, which is really hard to say. She is told by her mother that basically she's not going to go into the scribe quadrant, she's going to go be with the dragon riders. So she has to fight for her life. The story follows her as she progresses through each challenge and meets people along the way, and it's a really interesting read. I would say so far, though, I would give it about 4 stars. Just because while I'm very interested in it, some of the stuff, like some of the way that it's written, not necessarily dialogue, because I've heard a lot about the dialogue, I'm having issues with the plot progression. As you can probably tell by the last book that I'm reading, I really like plot progression. And I think while progression is really great in certain areas, such as like the romance that everybody knows about, the romance is paced really, really well. Like, I will state that right now, that the romance is paced very well. It's a slow burn, enemies to lovers, we love to see it. However, the rest of the time, it feels like things just kind of consistently happen. Things aren't feeling like they come up naturally. It always feels like, oh, convenience, something else is happening. Oh, we got another thing happening. Oh, we got another thing happening. So I have yet to kind of just see how... Maybe this is because I haven't finished the book. Maybe I just, haven't given it a fair shot. I don't know. It's hard going into a book knowing that there are such high expectations that people love this book really, really well. And I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. This book will be reread, I'm sure, thousands of times. But when it comes to certain things, like certain events that are happening in the novel, I just fail to see why, other than just proving a point that we already understand. But other than that, I've really been enjoying it. I'm on page 316, so I'm really getting close to being done. So we'll hopefully try and finish that by the end of this month, because that leads me to my August TBR. So I finally said it right. Yay. So I want to finish these books by August. So whenever August starts, I can start off with a clean slate, and I can begin a book and hopefully see how many books I can actually read within a strict, not a strict month, but within a month, and just kind of see what happens. I know. I can tell you right now, this is not going to happen in August. No way, not all of it, not at all. I can't read all this. So I want to start off with the biggest one here. This one, I know for certain I'm not going to be able to finish this in August, just because A Court of Silver Flames, also by Sarah J. Maas, took me, I think I started it in April. I'm not certain. It took me until 2 weeks ago to finish it. So not because it was big, it was just more of emotional, I didn't want to put it down, etc. We're not talking about that book right now. I've heard really good things about the series. This is A House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, in the Crescent City series. And basically, from what I know about this, is that it is about a girl, not sure if she's human. I don't think she is. She could be. I don't know. I don't know anything about this book. I kind of like going in kind of only knowing so much about a book before I start it, just to kind of immerse me in and let me learn from the writing. So this is about someone named Bryce Quinlan, who has seemingly the perfect life according to the inside blurb, which also, Look how beautiful that is. That is just gorgeous. It's about someone named Bryce Quinlan who gets involved in some kind of someone they know and love is accused of murder, and they have to help and figure out and prove their innocence and figure out who actually committed the murder. So I find that plot point very, very interesting because I said plot point. It's not a plot point. I find that plot very interesting because I personally want to write a fantasy mystery, and it's like kind of a murder mystery but also set in a fantasy vibe. So this is me kind of branching into my genre that I really want to write in. As someone who's never written fantasy before, this is going to be very interesting for me. I don't really know much about what else is going on with this book except that it's a mystery, and I think it'll be up my alley. I hope to start it in August, like I mentioned before, but it depends all on this other series that I'm about to start. So moving on to the next book is Shatter Me. So Shatter Me is one of like 500, not really, but it feels like 500 books in this series. Also, I don't really know a lot about it outside of the fact that the main character, Juliet, she has a lethal touch. And it's been akin to, why can't I remember the name of that series right now? Not Divergent, Hunger Games. Good grief. But I don't know if it's just because it's also dystopian or if it's because that's just where my brain goes, oh, dystopian, Hunger Games. I think with this one, I'm really excited because this one's going to be a buddy read. So I mentioned before that I finished A Court of Silver Flames recently. I did that with a buddy. She's still currently finishing it, so I'm really excited to start this journey with her because this is her most favorite series of all time. So I can't wait to see what and why this is her most favorite series. I'm anxious to know what it is about it that makes it so intriguing and makes it so different. And I do really like, from what I know about this book, that there are strategic, like structural, stylistic changes. There we go. Stylistic devices that are meant to show her mental state. And I think that is a really, really smart way to do like a physical medium like writing and stuff. Like whenever you're having an unreliable narrator and want to show basically that they are kind of not out of their mind, but like just kind of a bit, maybe out of their mind a little bit, because I think she's stuck in a mental institution. So I'm interested to see kind of where this goes and see why it's my friend's favorite. And between this and I think Crescent City, I don't know if I'll have much time to read anything else, but because I will probably immediately pick up the next books in this series. But if for some reason I'm able to pick up other books, which hopefully I will, because I tend to read like 3 books at a time because I have a problem, I just get distracted, okay? I really just like having multiple things to kind of like change my mind, because you never know what mood you're going to be in. I'm a mood reader, and I like to change things up a lot. So these 2 books are going to be my primary focus for August, but I do have a few other picks just in case I have some extra time. One of which is also another series. I have a problem, okay? I want to read the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I don't know anything. I don't know. You did not come here to hear me talk about like, oh, I don't really know what this book is about, but I don't really know what this book is about. It says on the back, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all those horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. And would you believe that I probably bought this based off of the title alone? Because the Jack the Ripper series is one of the most intriguing true crime stories for me. I like knowing and not knowing. No one knows. No one knows who he is. I find the mystery of no one knowing. There we go. I did it. I find the mystery of no one knowing who he is to be very intriguing, and it kind of opens up the stage for a lot of retellings. I know there's multiple ones that follow a bunch of different other serial killers like H.H. Holmes, but then it also follows like Dracula, I think. So, I don't know, but if I can get to this one, I would like to pick this one up and read it because, I don't know, it just seems really intriguing. So, that leaves 2 other books. So, I know I say so a lot, but so if I manage to be able to finish the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, Shatter me, and make decent headway through Crescent City, I would like to pick up one other book, and I cannot decide for the life of me which of these two it'll be. So another one is another thriller. So a Flicker in the Dark, but I honestly think the more I'm thinking about it, this one will probably end up being more of a September, October read, just because it's a thriller. That'll be kind of Halloween-y. That'll be nice and spooky for me to get into the game. So I think I might actually just, we're going to save that one for later. So that leaves another fantasy, because I'm in a really big fantasy mood right now, which is good. I like to hold on to that momentum as long as I can. So that leaves One Dark Window. And I have technically started this one. This one, I made it about 30 pages in, and then at the time realized that I was not in a fantasy mood and that I wanted to kind of pick up, I think, a thriller. So I usually oscillate between the two. And so basically this book is about a girl named Elspeth Spindle who needs to be able to handle the demon that's inside her head. And so basically he speaks to her, and it came from a form of a sickness that she had when she was little that basically no one admits or wants to admit that she had, because basically you can get in trouble with the police type, like with the not the county, but the government, and they can take you away because you're sick and stuff. I never got that far. I only got 30 pages in, but it was good. It was just because I was not in a fantasy mood at the time when I picked this up originally. That was all I knew. So the back of this book says, Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mislocked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in our head. He protects her and he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn, thrust into a world of shadow and deception, and she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just also happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. It says a maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy. And I am here for it. I want to see. I have another friend that basically is like, this book is the most amazing thing ever. And I need to see why that is the case. So if I can't read this in August, I'll probably push this one until September so I can finally see what all the talk is about this book. So, and I know the second book is coming out sometime this year, I think, as well. I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully, if I can read this one, I can pick up the second book and go from there. But yeah, so that is all my current reads and my projected TBR for the month of August. Hopefully, I think by that time, I will try and post a video about... I keep on looking off camera because I'm still not used to talking to the camera, and really excited to talk to you guys though. But going back to what I was saying, I'm hoping to see what I can read in the month of August and kind of do a wrap up and see what my thoughts and reviews are. Maybe I'll try and do a reading vlog if that's something you guys are interested in, where I document me reading it and kind of give you my thoughts along the way. Tell me your thoughts on spoilers, because I can give both spoiler free and spoiler heavy reviews on books that I read throughout the month of August. But I just want to thank you guys for coming and watching this video, and hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a chaotic mess like I feel like it's going to be. But I did enjoy filming it, and this was really fun, and I enjoyed it. So let me know in the comments below kind of what you think and what your current month TBR is going to be, if you have one, and if not, what books are you currently reading. And I hope to see you guys very soon. So thank you guys.